So we're just taking a quick look at Chainlink then on our daily time frame here for another daily update on the channel. As we can see, we've been grinding to the downside last week with Bitcoin doing its best to dump the market. You can see this Monday was very bearish for Chainlink. We came down, swept all the way down below this area of liquidity here, which was this 618 Fibonacci level. We came down here and bounced out of this huge big fair value gap here that we've got of all these days of bullishness back in the start of August, so about a month ago. Chainlink here, it actually did quite well compared to a lot of cryptos. Look at Solana last week, for example. Bitcoin obviously had a bearish week, opened up bearish on Monday, continued on Friday and Thursday down here, and then yesterday having a green candle. Lots and lots of cryptos had quite a significant pullback last week, as you can see across the markets. But Chainlink was, as usual, quite strong. As I said, it's been much more highly correlated to Ethereum than it has been to everything else in terms of the altcoin space. Chainlink and Ethereum here looking very highly correlated if you look at the charts one-to-one like that. And right now, I think Chainlink's probably quite likely, in my opinion, to come down, sweep this liquidity as we have, and then provided that Bitcoin at least goes sideways, we could be looking at having some pump here. As always, things always depend on Bitcoin, though. You can see Bitcoin, very bullish day yesterday, and we could easily see it starting to move through these levels of liquidity here. We've got this very obvious trend line that we've broken, and I think we could see continuation like this back to that high this week, depending on just really how bullish we can be today. I think if we close bullish today for Bitcoin, especially after this nice bullish Sunday, I think we might get some momentum up through these levels. And obviously, if that's the case, it will allow altcoins to have some relief from the bearish pressure that Bitcoin put on last week. Would be nice to see some bullish price action for Bitcoin this week. We've actually got some nice targets here. Got a pretty obvious trend line liquidity here that we could come up and sweep. This would be a nice trade still, I think. Sweeping liquidity below, we've got this inverted fair value gap that we could invert like this. Enter the trade here, stop loss below. I think this would make sense, to be honest, to come back up to this high. Got good liquidity above, and we are bullish overall. This could be like a nice little accumulation, manipulation, then distribution to continue to the upside. Obviously, this all depends on what Bitcoin does. As always, Bitcoin leads the market, and it's the only thing really that you need to be concerned about when you're thinking about whether or not altcoins are going to be going up and down, unless of course we're in a very obvious altcoin season where basically things are just pumping like absolute mad and Bitcoin's kind of either going sideways or just chilling and not really doing much, which can happen. I haven't had any altcoin seasons in this cycle so far, which is interesting. Kind of makes me think we're going to have one at some point. And interestingly enough, we did hit all-time highs, didn't we, for the altcoin basket here. So, going to be very interesting to see what happens next. As always, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Check back every single day for daily updates and get some free money in the description below. Cheers.